Hello. At this time where there's a whole lot of information that we're sending to you, and I know as parents you really are taking this seriously about how to help your child with online or home-based learning, sometimes we can get a little bit overwhelmed with the detail. What are we meant to do in this lesson? What work do we need to finish? What is my child supposed to learn? And we can get sort of a little bit overwhelmed. And so what I want to do to you now is just give you a big picture overview of the 8 learning areas that's in the WA curriculum to help you understand the idea behind each of those learning areas. Because you could be wondering, why aren't there 15 learning areas? Or why aren't there just 5 or 4? Why are there 8? And there's actually a central idea behind each one. And so, for example, when we think of the English learning area, what is the idea behind English? Well, the idea is communication. It's all about how we learn to understand or communicate an idea to someone, whether it's through our writing or through our reading or our speaking and listening. And so when we think of the English curriculum, communication is the big picture behind that. We're helping our children learn to communicate with other people and to share their ideas and learn from other people what they are writing about, etc. The second area or learning area is mathematics. What's the big idea behind mathematics? Well, when we think about maths, and I know there's formulas and there's all problems we have to solve, but the idea behind maths is all about value. Things have a value. There's a currency value. There's how long something is, how wide, how big, how small. And there's all the aspects of measuring things and calculation. So there's that concept of value. And so when we think about maths, often students will say, I'll never use this in my job in the future. The answer is yes, you will. We use mathematics every day. And so because there's things that we value, whether you're weighing something or cooking or shopping, there's a transaction. There's all those things that we measure and proportion. And so the idea behind maths is value. When it comes to science, what's the big idea about science? There's so much that we learn and study in chemistry and physics and biology and anatomy, etc. But the idea about science is all about creation. It's understanding our environment. It's understanding what God has given us, the things that we eat and the things that we learn about, how things react and how they function together. And so when you think about science and all the subjects, it's giving us a greater insight into this wonderful creation that God has provided for us. When it comes to humanities, history, social sciences, etc. What's the big idea behind HAS? Is all about people. It's about community. When you study history, you're learning about people. When you're studying geography, you're learning about where we live and the environments and the houses that we need to live and the climate, etc. And so social sciences, how do we interact? What are the issues that we learn or help children understand so that they can live in society with people? That's the big idea behind HAS. When it comes to the arts, what are the arts about? There's 5 areas in the arts. There's dance, there's drama, there's media arts, there's visual, and then there's the performing arts. What are those all for? It's about expressing yourself, expressing an idea, or producing a production or a performance. And so there's that creativity that we help children with. And so arts is all about giving your child an opportunity to express themselves, to express their feelings, to express those emotions, to express those ideas in creative ways. The next learning area is technology. When we think about technology, there's a whole lot of subjects involved in technology. It's all about function, how things work, how things are put together, how we invent things in industry. Or it could be when we have hospitality, we're making things, we're preparing things. Or the design technologies, where you have to problem solve and come up with a building or a structure. And so all the inventions, of whether they're electronic inventions or mechanical inventions, they have a function, they have a purpose. A camera or a vacuum cleaner or a computer, there's a function to it. So when we think about the area of technology, you're helping your child learn to build something that has a function. Of course, the next one is health and PE. This one's a little bit straightforward, but we need to live a healthy lifestyle. What we eat, what we do, how we manage ourselves, our bodies, physically fit, emotionally healthy, have good relationships, etc., good rest, So health and phys ed is all about children learning about a healthy lifestyle. And then the last one is our languages other than English. Why do we have this learning area? It's so that we can understand about different cultures, about how these people speak different languages, and so that's an important part because we really are part of a global village now. So in summary, as the Education Department has these 8 different learning areas, and I know as a parent you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot to remember. I want you to think about the idea behind each one. That gives you more of a big picture. If you've got a young child, what am I doing when I'm doing English with them? I'm helping them to communicate. If it's mathematics, what are we helping them with? They're learning the values of things and how they are calculated, etc. If we're doing science, we're learning about creation. If we're doing HAS, we're learning about people. If we're doing arts, we're learning about expressing ourselves. Technology, how things function. Health and PE, about our lifestyle, and load about other cultures. And so when I think about the learning areas like this, particularly if I'm talking to someone who has either younger children or children who are older in the high school, it gives them the big picture of what the curriculum is about and every lesson that you're doing. So rather than getting lost in the detail, which can happen, this is how we look at the big picture of what our curriculum is focusing on, the 8 learning areas.